We about to get into how did I find out I was pregnant at 3 months. Hey y'all, it's your girl Brittany Cachet, and I am back with another video. So today video is gonna be like very different. I never did no video like this. Like, this is something new to me. But before we get into the video, I am filming this in my car, so if you hear any like outside noises, my bad for that. But I decided to film it in my car because, yeah, I don't gotta explain. But this video is gonna be a story time. I can't wait to get into it. But anyways, don't forget to subscribe to your girl channel, like this video, and comment down below and give me some feedback on what y'all think about my story time. I did like put down, if you see me looking at my phone, it's because I'm trying to remember exactly like the like basically the story time on how it's supposed to go, and make sure I don't leave anything out. But y'all, do y'all want to know what story time I'm about to do? It's been a while. I should have been did this, but hey, we here now. So right now, we about to get into how did I find out I was pregnant at 3 months. Yes, y'all, 3 months. Like, somebody gonna be like, watch this and be like, girl, how you find out? Like, I mean, how you find out when you was 3 months? Like, that's not how it worked. Like, if you skip a period, this and this and that. No. It could happen. Trust me, it could happen. So I'm gonna tell y'all a story time on how I found out I was pregnant at 3 months. And I'm gonna tell y'all my labor and delivery story. And I'm also gonna touch base on like postpartum depression and what kind of helped me not fall like deep into postpartum depression. I felt like I felt like this was the time that I could do this story time and basically touch subject on everything, is because I feel like now I'm at the point where my baby is 1, he's about to be 2 this year, and I feel like at the end of last year is where I finally felt like I had my spark back. It's not all the way back, but I could feel it. He's about to be 2 in September, so yeah, it took me a while. It's been a long journey. It's been a long journey. So first, I'm basically is going to start off like when I'm like around 19, 20. I feel like this kind of happens with like a lot of black women, where we have like fibroids or cysts on our ovaries. So that type of thing, that type of issue had happened with me when I was like around 19, 20. I had noticed like that I was getting irregular periods. So, you know, I wanted to get checked up and make sure, like, you know, if everything was okay, or like, you know, why this is happening. So I had went to the doctor, and basically she ordered me an ultrasound. And I'm so sorry, y'all. This is my first time doing this. But she ordered me the cervix ultrasound. So once the results came back, basically I had a cyst on my ovaries. And when you have like cysts or fibroids on your ovaries, you know, you're always bloated and you have irregular periods. Some people might not like some people might not have the same symptoms as me, but I know I had those two symptoms. Like, I was always bloated, and I had irregular periods. So once we found out that I had a cyst on my ovaries, you know, I was monetarily checked, you know, I think like every 3 months or so, or however you gotta get checked out. I forgot. It's been a while. So I was getting checked, you know, making sure it doesn't grow, it doesn't get big, or it doesn't explode or anything like that. So after a while, I end up getting another ultrasound, and come to find out that it turned into me having like little fibroids, like real little fibroids on my ovaries, which we have ovaries that sit on our left and right side, and that's where like we carry our eggs at, like to have babies. So this was like around 19, when I was like 19, 20, I find this out. So I'm like, okay, you know, like, what's the next step of, like, you know, me trying to become more healthier, or, you know, get rid of the fibroids or cysts, you know, because that's not something I wanted, because like I said, I was having irregular periods, and I was bloated all the time, and I was tired of looking like I was, like, when I say bloated, I mean I was looking like I was like 1 or 2 months pregnant, and I'm like, no, this is not okay. So eventually time goes on. I turn 21. I turned 21, you know, just living life, doing everyday life things, just, you know, just chilling, just relaxing. You know, around this time, around 21 is like around the time me and my baby's father was like, you know, together and everything like that, and, you know, just being grown. So, you know, we just living life, having fun, being grown, as my mama would say. So after that happened, so this is, when I say I'm 21, we're in 2022. So going into the New Year's, so we're gonna jump from that to go to New Year's. It was December 31st, 2022, going into like 2023, you know. So it was New Year's Eve, and my friend was having a party. Before that, I missed a step. So it was like November, December of 2022, and I had a period in November, but I didn't get one in December. So when I didn't get my period in December, I was feeling kind of weird, but it was like it's nothing. Like, you know, it's nothing. You always get irregular periods. Like, it felt like my period was gonna come, but my period never came. Like, it was just like a back and forth type of thing. So I'm like, okay, this is weird. But I was also feeling weird. So it was like I was, you know, in between those two. Like, I could be pregnant, or nah, it's not. Like, I get irregular periods. So I didn't think anything of it. So I'm going into, so I took me a test. I took me a test in December, and it was just one line. So I'm like, see, I knew I wasn't pregnant. Like, couldn't be me. So the next day I looked at the test, and it was like a faint line, like another cross, like basically saying like you're pregnant. So I'm like, this can't be. Like, it was so light, like super, when I say super light, I mean like so light. Like, you have to like really like focus your eyes on it. That's how light it was. So I'm like, man, it's nothing, whatever. Like, you know, we just gonna go on about our day, whatever. It ain't nothing. Like my period gonna come. It's gonna come when it want to come, because I was having irregular periods. So I was like I'm not finna stress about it. So here it comes, December 21st, 2022, going into 2023. So my friend, like, has like a little New Year's get together. Went over to her house. We was drinking, everything like that, taking shots, blah blah blah. Y'all, I did it up big, like too big. I went out with a super bang, too big. I got too drunk. I didn't even make it to the countdown. Like, I was already asleep. I was already asleep. I didn't make it. So wake up, next day is January 1st. Woo, happy New Year's. Y'all, I was so sick. I couldn't get out of bed. Like, I was like, how am I make it home? Y'all, I was so freaking sick. Like, it felt like I got hit by a bus or something. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like, God, please give me the strength to just make it home, because I really just wanted to get in my bed and just go to sleep and sleep all day. So I finally was able to like get up and get home. Oh my God, y'all, it took so much out of me. Like, it felt like I was hit by a bus. So I finally make it home, whatever, and I get home, I take me a bath, I go to sleep. So the next day I wake up and I have like a banging headache. Like my head is like banging, like if somebody was just beating on my head. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what is going on? Like, this is just too much. Like, this is too much. So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna sleep the whole day, because I was off. So I was like, I'm gonna just sleep the whole day. So I think this is like around January 3rd. So January 3rd, I'm like, okay, I gotta get up early, because, you know, I got work. So I'm like, let me get up a little early, see if I'm still feeling the same type of way, like if I be able to make it to work or not. So I get up, everything like that, and y'all, it was worse. It was worse. Head still banging. Now my ears is popping, and I couldn't, like, I didn't want to eat nothing. Like, I just want to sleep. Like, just let me sleep. So my mom was like, take a COVID test. She was like, you probably got COVID. So I took a COVID test. Boom, positive. Did have COVID. I'm like, that's weird, because where did I get COVID from? Because y'all don't go nowhere. Like, literally, I just went to work, and then that New Year's Eve party, I just went to my friend. And it wasn't a whole lot of people there. It was just my two friends, her little sisters, her daughter. That's it. Like, we wasn't no big old crowd. Like, it wasn't no big old crowd. So I took the COVID test, you know, around that time. Like, COVID was still kind of heavy. So it was like, if you got COVID, you got to stay out of work for 5 days. So I stayed out of work for 5 days. You know, still just going through the symptoms. Head banging, ears throbbing, couldn't keep nothing down. Literally, my mom had me drinking orange juice. Oh my gosh, y'all. Oh, just throwing everything up. Everything. Food, juice, water, everything. I was throwing it up. I couldn't keep it down. So I'm like, oh my God, y'all, this COVID is whooping my ass. I'm like, COVID is really whooping my ass. So I'm like, okay, whatever. 5 days go by. I'm feeling better. Like, I don't have the throbbing headache anymore. I don't have the throbbing ears. My head's not banging anymore. So I'm like, okay, like, I feel better now. But my body was still like tired. Like, I was still tired. Like, still just lounging around. Like, still kind of didn't really feel good. Yeah, like, I was just tired, didn't feel good. So I'm like, man, something's off. Like, something is off. Like, why do I feel like this? So we get to like the middle of January, whatnot. I'm still feeling like this. I'm like, y'all, this is so weird. Like, what is going on? Like, you know, this is so weird. So, we get to, like, you know, the middle to towards the end. You know, I'm still going to work, everything like that. But I'm like, my body's just feeling weird. Like, I'm really tired. Like, I'm really just going to work, coming home, go to sleep, get up, go to work, come home, go to, like, it was just a repeated cycle. Like, I didn't want to do nothing else. I didn't want to go nowhere. Like, I was just tired and feeling weird. So, like, around, I would say, January 25th, I had came home, and I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm going to take me a pregnancy test. Just for the simple fact is that I noticed before I was like, okay, before I just gave in, it was like, I'm going to take the COVID test, is because, like, when I would brush my teeth or, like, when I would eat certain things, I would, like, gag and throw up. Like, anything just censored, like, just censored the nauseous, and I was just throwing up. So I'm like, you know what? We just gonna take it. But then again, y'all, I didn't want to take it because we had just got our passports. My sister, me, my mom, and my cousins, we just got our passports. What? Finna book a trip to go to Jamaica because your girl is turning 22. Y'all, we out of here. We about to have so much fun. Like, we about to go to Jamaica and turn up, like, for real. So I'm like, like, I don't want to take the test. Like, I'm finna go to Jamaica for my birthday. I'll take it after. But I was having, like, so many symptoms, like, so many, like, just feeling so weird. So I was like, you know what, forget it. I'ma just take it. So y'all, I end up taking it. And boy, let me tell y'all, as soon as I peed on that stick, it was positive. Like, it was like a little pee touch, boom, positive. I was like, wow. Like, dang, like that for real. So I'm like, that's crazy. So I go to the doctor, and, like, just to make sure, like, that everything was, you know, good, whatever. So I went to the doctor, took a test at the doctor, and she was like, yeah, you're pregnant. Your test came back positive. And she was like, you're 3 months. Who 3 months? Y'all, oh my God. I was like, what the fuck? Like, this cannot be happening. Like, how am I 3 months pregnant? Like, how? It just didn't make sense to me. Like, how was I 3 months pregnant? I got my period in November. I just missed December. Like, how am I 3 months? Like, how am I 3 months? For real. Like, for real. So, I'm like, okay, whatever. So, I'm like, now I'm to the point thinking, like, okay, what am I about to do? Like, what are you gonna do, Brittany? Like, are you gonna keep the baby? Like, what is you gonna do? Because at this time, it was just like, what are you gonna do for real? Like, what are you gonna do? Like, I just kept thinking, like, what are you gonna do? Like, it was never no second guess of, like, how I'm gonna take care of the baby, because I knew I was gonna be able to take care of my baby. But it was just like, are you ready to be a mom? Because you know how everybody always be like, oh, I'm gonna make sure I'm financially stable when I have, like, before I have my kid. And y'all, it's really not just about that. Like, why my camera just go dark when I'm recording? Like, I don't know why that happened. I wonder if it's gonna look like that when I pull out thing. But we just gonna keep going. So I'm like, oh, so I'm saying it's really not about like being financially stable. It's about being mentally, emotionally, and physically stable also. Like, you can really like lose track of yourself if you're not mentally, physically, and emotionally stable while you've been pregnant. Hold on, y'all, let me fix this. Okay, I'm back. So like I was saying, it's not just all about being financially stable when it comes to having kids. Like, you really have to be emotionally, mentally, and physically stable when it comes to having kids. Because y'all, oh my gosh, it's just it's not, I don't want to make it seem like it's just like super hard when having a kid, but it's very challenging, like very challenging. And when they say having a support system when you have a kid, baby, let me tell you, you have to have a support system. Of course, it could, it's just you. It could be you and a dad, but you have to have support system. Like, your mom or like family members or your sisters and brothers. Like, when I say my support system eats down, baby, support system eats down. I love them all, and I can't wait till I become rich so I could spoil all of them, because baby, support system eats down. My mom, my sister, my brother, even sometimes my niece will watch them. Like, if I gotta take a shower, or if I got homework to do, or just any little thing, like just any little small thing, like she'll be like, okay, I'll take them for a little bit, because kids don't really have patience like that. So like, she'll just take it for a little bit. But support system eats down, baby. Okay, like, they always down to help when it comes to my baby, and I love that so much for me and my child, for real, for real. So yes, it's very challenging. And for me, I had to learn to have patience, because I didn't have patience at all. Like, at all when it comes to kids. Like, when it came to anything, I didn't have patience. So me having my baby, it taught me a lot of patience. Not just with the child, with the baby. It taught me patience with everything. Like, it made me look at life totally different. Like, it's really good. It has its pros and cons, but I wouldn't trade my baby for anything. Like, and for the people that be saying like, oh, I can't do this because I have a baby, or if I have a baby, it's like, no, a baby don't stop nothing. Like, if anything, you gonna want to grind even harder. Like, you gonna grind even harder, and you gonna bring energy and like strongness out of nowhere that you didn't even think you had. Like, I was like, whoo, where'd this come from? But anyway, let's get back into the story. So, boom, go to the doctor, 3 months pregnant. Where was I at? Oh, I was telling y'all about mentally, physically, emotionally stable. Okay, so now we're gonna jump into how was 9 months being pregnant. I would say it was kind of rocky in the beginning. It was kind of rocky in the beginning because it was just a whole lot of emotions. When you're pregnant, your hormones is very high. So it was just like a lot of emotions, like a lot to accept, like just a lot, because I'm a type of person that I don't really like to ask for help, or like try to stay to myself. Like I say to myself, I don't ask for a lot of help. And once you become pregnant, you can't move as fast like, you can't get up and move as fast as you used to, or like certain things you can't do, so you have to get somebody else to do it, or like just people checking on you. I think because my camera getting hot, it keep doing the going dark. But just like people checking on you and stuff like that. Like, I wasn't used to like people texting my phone or calling me, or want to do things for me. So it was kind of like new to me. Like, I was trying to grasp the just as people just want to be there. But it was like a roller coaster in the beginning, but once it got towards the end, I just learned to like, okay, this is really about me and my baby. And if you're gonna be here, you're gonna be here. If you're not, you're not. Oh well. Everybody that is in my baby life is very blessed, and that's just that. But yeah, my 9 months being pregnant, it was rocky in the beginning, but to the end, it was cool. It was cool. So my job. Okay, so we get to, my baby shower was in July of 2023. And we had it in July because, child, my due date was August 16th. But when I had got my first ultrasound from my OB, I had to go to the specialist to see the specialist, make sure everything was correct and everything like that. But she said that I was measuring like a week or two off. So to them, my due date was August 24th or 25th, one of those. And mine's in my head from when I was 3 months was August 16th. So, like I said, we had my baby shower in July, thinking that the baby was gonna come in August. Child, this baby ain't coming August. This baby ain't coming August at all. So when it got to like August 16th, I'm like, oh y'all, like, what if I go in labor tonight? Like, what if what if my water bag busts? Like, oh my god, this is crazy. So I'm excited. But eventually that didn't happen. So then here comes the due date. The doctor said that I was supposed to have was like August 24th or August 25th. Still didn't show up. He still didn't show up. He didn't even show no move, no nothing. So I think, let me see. Let me go to the calendar for y'all to pull this out. So okay, wait. So August, you know how I told y'all I was due August 16th. So August 17th, I had a, because when you get real close to your due date, they start making you go every week, like once a week. So I was having an appointment once a week. So I had went to my appointment August 17th, and she did, did she do a check on me? Did she check me? No, I don't think she checked me. Wait, did she? Yeah, she didn't check me. So I went, so then again, I went August 24th, which is, I think, was supposed to be my due date, or the August 25th, whichever one they gave me. So, she checked me, and I was like 1 centimeter, but she was like, like, do you want to just get induced or whatever? But I was like, no, because at this time we thinking, okay, maybe he would come like the day, like on my dad's birthday or something, because my dad's birthday is in August, like the last week of August. So we like, maybe he comes on my dad's birthday. My mom was like, maybe he'll come on your dad's birthday. And I was like, okay. My bad, y'all. I got hungry. So we like, maybe, my mom was like, maybe he'll come on your dad's birthday. So I'm like, okay, like, that would be nice. Like, I would love that. But he didn't. He didn't. He didn't come on his birthday. He didn't make no move. So, I had an appointment August 31st. And my doctor checked me and she was like, oh, you're still 1 centimeter. Like, you're still 1 centimeter. So, but she was like, but I want you to go to the hospital so they could check you, you know? I'm like, oh my God, y'all. I wanted to go home because I had a feeling she was gonna be like, oh, go to the hospital, but I wanted to go home because I wanted to get in the shower, eat, everything like that. But that didn't end up happening. Like, I couldn't go home and take a shower. So, fast forward, we go to the hospital. Good thing it was in the back of my doctor's office, so I didn't have to go too far. So, we went to the hospital, and we was in the triage. Me and my mom was in the triage room for so freaking long, y'all. So long. So, we're in the triage room, and then they went to do another ultrasound on me. So, they did another ultrasound. We was waiting for my results, and basically, my results came back, and my water was leaking, but they didn't know where it was going. Like, it wasn't even coming out of me. So basically, when your baby's in your tummy, it's in a water bag. Your baby's in the water bag, and it could leak. Like, it could leak. Like, that's when they be like, oh, your water bag bust, anything like that. Like, they mean that bag is leaking. So, mine was leaking, but it wasn't coming out of me. Like, they didn't know where it was going. It wasn't coming out of me. So they like, we gotta induce you. You gotta stay. I'm like, ooh, can I go home and take a shower? You know, get some food, stuff like that. They like, no, we can't, because if something happened to you while you're out, then the blame will be on us and this and this and that. I'm like, bruh. So they give me a room. This is like around 6 o'clock. I get into my room and stuff like that, and they hook me up to all the IVs, put Pitocin in me and everything like that. And I had noticed that, I guess, like, when you start progressing and dilating and stuff, like, sometimes you will have, like, you would spot or you would start bleeding, but it'll be like a light color, like mixed, like just mushy, whatever. TMI. But that's what I had coming out of me. I'm like, oh, now you want to come. Now you want to start coming, huh? When they trying to force you out. So, before they gave me like the Pitocin to induce me and everything like that, they checked me. They gave me a service check, and I was 2 centimeters. I'm like, boy, you went to 2 centimeters, and I went to 2 centimeters. Let me see. In like 3 to 4 hours. I only went to 2 centimeters. So, but I was a trip because it's my first baby, and with your first baby, you really don't, like, your labor is really not going to be fast. It's your first baby. Like, this is something new to your body, so it's not going to be fast. Like, it's not going to be really fast. So, I labored I went to the hospital Thursday. I didn't have him till Friday night. So, from 9 p.m. to Thursday, all the way to 9 p.m. on Friday, I labored for 12 hours. And I went up to like 6 centimeters. I was trying to see how long I could last without getting an epidural. The contractions is not that bad. I thought I was gonna be in there screaming. But I went to 6 centimeters, and I see why women get the epidural. And it's not because the contraction is bad. I felt like, to me, the way I labored, like my process, what I overheated again. But like I was saying, I feel like that the contraction, like the reason why women get epidural is because, not because of the contractions. I think it's because when they start becoming back to back, that's when it's like, oh, give me that epidural. Because that's how it was for me. So when I was like, because when I went in, I was already 2. So before they gave me the Pitocin, I was already 2. So when I was doing 3, 4, 5, and 6, like, it was just like, well, I'm gonna say 3, 4, and 5. It was just like, you know how when we have cramps on our period, and it's like, when it, to me, my cramps feel like somebody's like wringing a towel out and then let go. Like, that's how mine's felt. Just like my period cramps. So I'm like, okay, I could do this. Like, okay, I could do this. But once I got to 6 centimeters, y'all, it was back to back. And the medication that they give you, you can't, like, once you reach a certain centimeter, they can't give it to you no more. So it's either you deal with the pain or you get the epidural. So I got to 6 centimeters, and it was coming back to back. Like, the contractions was coming back to back. I'm like, ooh. I was like, where's the epidural? Where is the epidural? I need it now. And good thing, y'all, I had me a black nurse. I'm so grateful for her. Like, she made my experience comfortable and everything like that. Even the other nurses made my experience like comfortable and very easy, and they was there for me and everything like that. But she was the one that told me when I went in there, like, they do what's your plan? They ask you, like, what's your plan and stuff like that. And my plan was, last as long as I can, unless I need the epidural. So she was like, I'm gonna just have you sign the papers and everything like that. So if you do get it, like, it's already, in the system. All I gotta do is call them to come give it to you. So I'm like, okay. So I'm like, once I hit that 6 centimeter, I said, baby, epidural. I need it. So I ended up getting epidural, and I was cool. I went to sleep. But I woke up and I had a fever. Like a high ass fever. Like a fever so fucking high. Y'all, it was crazy. So I ended up having a fever. And then I ended up catching another one, like, I think 10 minutes before I had to deliver my baby. So after I pushed him out, it only took me 5 minutes, y'all. 5 minutes. And I feel so bad for the women that be pushing for like 30 minutes to an hour. Bookie, no. 5 minutes. First baby. 5 minutes. Labor for 12 hours. Some women be in labor for even longer than that. Labor for 12 hours. Pushed out in 5 minutes. And I only tore a little bit. I think I only needed like 2 or 3 stitches. So I was good, baby. I was good. I was like, oh, thank you, God. But I noticed right after I pushed him, y'all, I had a horrible headache. Like, a horrible headache, and my neck was hurting. Like, it felt like if I got into a car crash and my head just went boom, like, that's how it felt. I was like, oh my gosh, y'all, like, the only way I felt better if I was to lay my head down. Like, that was the only way that I felt better. So I was telling the doctor, like, oh my gosh, I got a headache. Like, this is just, like, I could only, I can't, like, sit up because my head is just boom, boom. Like, it felt like I really got hit by a train or something. So what they had to do was take blood from my arm and put it in my spine where I got the epidural at, and it worked. So what they call that type of headache, you could get those type of headaches when you get, like, epidural or spine injections. It's called a post-dural puncture headache. And y'all, oh my gosh, y'all don't want that. Oh my God, let me tell you, I wouldn't even wish that type of headache on my worst enemy. So they end up taking blood from my arm and putting it in my spine, and it worked for a little bit. But y'all, an hour or two, it was back. The headache was back. I'm like, oh my goodness, like, oh my goodness. So the doctor was like, I don't want to give you another one of those because it's bad. Like, it's not, it wouldn't be good for you because clearly, like, you still getting a headache. So he was like, drink a lot of caffeine. Like, drink a lot of caffeine. So my job, you only stay in the hospital for like 2 days. But my baby was in the NICU because since I had a fever, before I pushed him out, since I had a fever, he had caught one too. So when he came out, they had to monitor him, keep him, and make sure everything was good. So then after that, I had to wait 12 hours to go see my baby because I had a headache. Then they didn't want the other babies in the NICU fever. They didn't want the other babies in the NICU to catch a fever because I had one. So I had to wait 12 hours for my fever to go away to go see my child. Then I was finally able to go see him, but you only supposed to stay in the hospital for 2 days. But he had to stay another day. So my mom when I went to go see my baby, I was in the NICU. My mom told the doctor, like, oh, she's not, I don't think she's ready to go home. Like, she doesn't feel 100% to go home. So he was like, okay, I'll keep her another day. But we only did that because I didn't want to go home without my child. So, third day comes and we finally get released. While he was in NICU, I trusted the nurses. They did good with my baby. I trusted the nurse. It was just one nurse that I couldn't stand because she just made it seem like she was his mom, and I really didn't like that. Like, it was just so annoying. Like, because I was trying to breastfeed, but since he was in the NICU, I couldn't really do too much breastfeeding because, they on the set schedule, like, you gotta eat every 2 hours. So, like, when I was up during the day, like, I would make sure I go so I could, feed him or whatever. And, like, I'll get there and I'd be like, okay, I'm here to, like, breastfeed him or so I could learn. And she was like, oh, I already fed him. But it's like, I told you that I was going to come every 2 hours. So, he could get on the boob, start latching, everything like that. Like, that was just pissing me off. And then, I'm a new mom and everything. So it's like, you could give me advice. Don't try to tell me what to do with my child. Like, you could just give me advice. So I really didn't like her, but the other nurse that he had, I loved her and everything like that. Like, I felt good with her. I felt like he was safe for her. So yeah, y'all, I think if I have any more kids, I won't be able to get the epidural because, baby, that post-dural puncture headache was too much for me. Like, it was just too much for me. So now we about to get into the last. Right when my camera keep overheating, so I like letting it chill. But we on the last part of this story time. So I told my story time on how I found out I was pregnant at 3 months. I told my labor and delivery story. Now we're gonna go with dealing with postpartum depression. So when I noticed that I was getting postpartum depression was when I was staying in the house a lot. Like, I would say we was probably like 2-3 months in. When I first, like, you know, when we first came home and everything, I was kind of like my postpartum depression more was like anxiety or just worry. Like, I just felt like, oh, I couldn't do anything, like, just with me and my baby. Like, I'm like, okay, I have to stay in the house. Like, I can't go nowhere. Like, I always need somebody, because that first month, anytime, like, I needed to leave the house or anything, my mom took me. Like, I was in the I was in the back seat with my baby and my mom was driving. So, like, I was kind of worried, scared, like, okay, like, what if we out and, like, this happened, or, like, he gets to crying and I'm driving, he in the back seat, or, like, what if he back there, he can't breathe? Like, I was just, like, having, like, bad anxiety and just worrying about every little thing. Like, every little thing you could think of, I was like, oh my God, like, what if this, or what if that, or what if we out in public, somebody try to take us, or they see a new mom. And I noticed, like, once you have a baby and you going through the healing process, you can't move fast. Like, I could not move fast. Like, I would try to walk fast or try to run. I couldn't. Like, it was like, girl, relax. Relax. So I was just worried and scared, like, oh my God, like, you know, like, what if this, what if that, what if this? So we was in the house every day. Like, it was just waking up, going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep. We were just in the house, just in the house, y'all. Oh my gosh. And I could feel myself just, like, getting overwhelmed, like, just looking at 4 walls every day, all day. I'm just like, I don't know what to do. Like, like, I just felt like, oh my God, I can't get up and leave no more like I could before I had a baby. Like, what did I do? And don't take that as like, oh, like, she felt like her baby was just stopping everything. It was more of just like, I was really scared and worried to go out, because I don't know if these type of things would happen. And y'all, I also was going through like if my mom wanted to see my baby, or anybody wanted to hold my baby that came around, anything like I know anybody that hold my baby, I want to see my baby, love my baby and everything like that. But I just, like, I'm his mom, so I just feel like I just had to watch you. Like, let me see what you doing. Like, where you going? Let me see what you doing. How you doing it? Like, let me, like, I was just like, let me see what you doing. Oh, that's not doing that right. Like, I was just like that. And I just felt like, because it's my baby and it's my first time mom, so of course I just want everything. Like, I just wanted my baby to be happy, healthy, felt comfortable, you know, just wanted to meet all his needs. So when I noticed, like, I was falling into, like, postpartum depression, it was like around when he was, like, I would say like 2, 3, 4 months. And y'all, I was like, forget that. We going outside. Like, we gonna be outside, even if it was just for like 2 to 3 hours, like, we're gonna go outside. Like, we're gonna go outside and get some fresh air. And it wasn't like, oh, go outside by my house. It was, we're gonna go shopping. We're gonna go to the store. We're gonna go to the mall. We're gonna go out to eat. Like, we're gonna do something, because I'm not about to sit in this house and go crazy. Like, I just knew to catch it before it got any deep, because I could feel myself, like, just it just taunting me, like, just over my back, like, yeah, I'm about to get you. I'm about to get your ass. So I'm like, we gotta get up out of here. We gotta go. We gotta get up out of here. I also had started therapy in the midst of it all. So it was like, that was another way of us getting out. And then also, I'm going to talk to my therapist. I'm going to talk. She's listening, like, you know, no interruptions, anything like that. So it was kind of good. Like, I was happy. Like, I was just like, yes, finally. Like, we're getting out the house. Like, this is what I wanted. Like, once I noticed that I was about to fall into postpartum depression, I went outside. And I felt like this could work with all new moms. Like, even if, like, because, you know, of course, getting your hair done, getting your nails done, you know, keeping yourself up to par, or getting you a little me time will keep the postpartum depression away. But also going outside. Like, don't sit in the house all day every day. If you could go outside, especially if your baby is born around, like, where it's still hot. Like, my baby was born September 1st, so it was still hot. It was still hot, basically still summer. And I just knew, like, okay, and once it did start getting, like, to, like, October, November, you know, December, like, okay, I'll be like, okay, we're gonna go outside, you know, when it's still warm, and we're gonna be back, you know, we're gonna be back in the house, you know, before it gets cold or before the sun goes down. But I made sure we went outside. If it wasn't every day, we at least went once or twice out of the week, every week. So I made sure that I didn't fall into postpartum depression, because I didn't want to fall into postpartum depression. So I'm like, this is great. Like, once I started going back outside and everything like that, I was like, yeah, this is great. Like, this is this is what I needed. Like, this is what I needed. So yeah, for all the new moms, I'm still a new mom, but my baby only one. But I got some a little experience. You know, everybody mother's story or mother experience is going to be different, but any new moms are becoming moms that's still pregnant, that have advice, that needs advice on anything, or feel like they just need somebody to talk to, or figure out, like, how they can stop postpartum depression, or they don't want to, you know, go through that. Anything to do with mom stuff, hit me up. I love being a mama. Like, that's my best friend. That's my baby. That's my best friend. I love him to death. When I was in high school, I always said that I better have a boy. And that's what I did, y'all. I have a boy. So, I love my baby to death. That's my baby. I love him. That's literally the only person you would ever see me be emotional about. Like, when it comes to him, that's when my emotional side comes out. So I really feel like my dad sent him to me, but we ain't gonna get on that. This is just a story time on how I found out I was pregnant at 3 months, and my labor and delivery story, and how I helped my postpartum depression. So yeah, but we are at the end of this story time slash talking video. I hope you guys enjoyed this story time, this video. Leave a comment, like this video, and if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to your girl's channel, okay? Please, I would truly appreciate if you subscribe to my channel, y'all, for real. I'm trying to get to 500 subscribers. But yes, catch y'all in the next video. Bye.